Welcome and thank you for joining me at the table. I'm Thomas Dodderwick, and this week I'm on location at St. Thomas Camp in Monarch, Montana, where the diocese has this beautiful property. Summer camp's in session, and I have the gift of sitting down with the spiritual director and the head counselor of St. Thomas Camp, Father Garrett Nelson and Sarah Pankratz. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
St. Thomas Camp is a hidden gem of the diocese, really. And so tell us just a little bit about the property and the summer camp.
The property here, I guess, was donated by some sisters who ran a orphanage in Great Falls. It was St. Thomas Orphanage, and so this kind of was their summer getaway. And I think it kind of took on the name of St. Thomas Camp at that point, and then it eventually was given over to the diocese when the orphanage closed down. And so the property is incredibly beautiful. You know, we're up here in the Little Belt Mountains. We got the creek running through, and just all sorts of activities for the kids to do. And it's just a place to visit God's creation,
As the head counselor, what kind of program areas are you offering the children to participate in right now?
We have all kinds of stuff. They have mass in the morning, every morning. We have a creek to swim in. We do team building activities. They climb the rock wall, do archery. They have skit night, which is a favorite for a lot of them. On Thursday night, we always have a fancy dinner where they dress up really nice, and then the counselors all serve them dinner, like at a fancy restaurant, and then they have a dance afterwards, which is usually a big high of the week. So that's just a few of the activities that we got.
How long? How many sessions? What age group get to come to camp?
So we have 6 sessions over the course of the summer, and we have 2 high school sessions, 2 middle school sessions, and then 2 5th and 6th grade sessions. And so the high school sessions, there are different groups of kids that come in every week, and then the 5th and 6th grade sessions we do separate. So we do 5th and 6th grade girls one week and 5th and 6th grade boys one week, but then the rest are co-ed.
Summer camp is hard work. I mean, it's exhausting. Why dedicate so much time? There's other things you could be doing as a priest and other things you could be doing as a college student or whatever it is that you do when you're not here. Why dedicate so much time here at camp?
Really, it's just for the kids. I came here when I was a kid and just had the time of my life and really was able to experience and encounter Christ here. So I dedicate my summers here so that I can give them the same experience that I got, because that's just really important.
Yeah, and I would say this is really just an opportunity for formation for the kids, right? And this is the future of the church, right? These are the Catholics, the young Catholics of Eastern Montana. And, it's really an opportunity for them to experience Christ, to have a true encounter with God. And then not only just in the sacramental experiences that they have, but also in interactions with each other. And that plants a seed and sets the tone for the future of the church in this diocese. And so that's why I love coming here and really just being able to be an instrument in bringing that about within the hearts of these kids.
A lot of the activities that are done here at camp, I mean, we live in Montana. They can do these things at home. Why come to camp to do these activities?
They get to do them with their friends. Most of them are in the same age group. So they just get to have fun with their age group all week, and college students and Father Garrett. But they can take a hike together and look at the nature and, all that kind of thing. But the best part is probably that there's no cell service out here. So they really can just unplug from the world and experience each other, which is something that they don't really get a chance to do very often anymore. So
yeah, and I would say one of the things is we set the tone from the very beginning that this is supposed to be an encounter with Christ. So all of the fun things that you're doing, right? You can have fun and love God at the same time, right? And I think that's really just one of the most profound advantages of being able to do this at camp is that you are, you can be normal and you can be Catholic, and you can love God and be joyful at the same time.
You're describing a camp that sounds awfully churchy and very Catholic. Sadly, a lot of our Catholic families may feel like it's a little too churchy that their child may be ostracized because they don't know their faith as well as others. And then there are non-Catholics who might see this. Talk about the campers and where they are on their faith journey and who's welcome.
All are welcome to come. We do have campers who are not Catholic that come to camp. And honestly, the amazing part about that is that they're usually the ones that ask the most questions, and and we make it clear to them on day one that they are absolutely free to do so. Every time we have confession, adoration, a counselor gives a talk about a certain topic or whatnot, we always tell them, if you guys have other questions, feel free to come and talk to any of the counselors or Father Garrett, or just to open that door up to them, so that they don't feel ostracized and they don't feel like it's a dumb question or, whatnot. So we really try and include them and help them to learn also, since it's a learning experience for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're unapologetically Catholic, right? It's what we are. It's what we identify ourselves as. It's it's the identity of this camp, but it's not like to the point of like, oh, we got to close it off to everybody else, right? No, we're Catholic, and there's a lot of misinformation out there in terms of what it means to be Catholic, right? What do Catholics actually believe, and that sort of thing. And so it's really an opportunity for dialogue with people who perhaps either just haven't been to church in a long time or not Catholic, and we can have that conversation of like, well, here's why we believe what we believe, right? And it's and so in a way it's an arm of evangelization. We fortify the love of Christ through what we believe and through what we do. It's the whole idea of lex orandi, lex credendi, right? The law of prayer is the law of belief, and so the way we pray really emphasizes what we actually believe, and people get to experience that, and that's wonderful, and so all are welcome to come and experience it, and it's really a great opportunity for us to be able to speak to people who perhaps wouldn't ordinarily have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So. Having these children come here means you have to have a skilled staff. And parents, of course, nowadays are very concerned about making sure their children are safe and supervised properly. Where do you get your staff? How do you train them? And just what's their background? I mean, it's fun to know what kind of background different camp counselors have, right?
Well, I'm not super involved in the hiring process, but I do a lot of the training and leadership throughout, before camp starts and while it's going on. And this group that we have this year, actually, there's a whole variety of people. One of our counselors is discerning religious life. One of them discerned religious life and is now discerning marriage. And in terms of the guys, one of them helps out a lot at the Catholic schools, and a bunch of them went to the Catholic schools. Some of them went to camp before. Like, it's really, we have a whole variety. One of our counselors is a convert, all these things, which is just awesome for the kids to be able to experience these counselors, because they all came to their faith in different ways, and the kids can see that it's all centered around the same thing, but not everybody has the same journey. So
yeah, and I think like Sarah said, we're trying to find counselors who come from a variety of backgrounds, but the most fundamental thing that we want is that they are dedicated to their faith, that they really desire to pass on the gospel to the next generation. They've received something and they want to give freely, right? And that's what we do. And so we reach out to various different Catholic colleges around the area. We've had kids from Carroll, we've had kids from UMary. Most of our staff is from UMary. We actually have a thing called Marauder Monday, where everybody wears their UMary gear. I wore my Franciscan gear because I was Franciscan during that day. But so it's fun. We kind of have that little friendly rivalry and banter and things like that. But but they have a variety of backgrounds as well. We have some Boy Scouts who have gone through Eagle Scout, and that sort of thing, and have wilderness training, and we do CPR training, first aid training, all that sort of stuff together, as a means of just preparing everybody to be able to keep the kids safe over the course of the summer as well.
What is the mission really of the work you're doing here? Why are you doing it? Besides giving the children an opportunity to experience the faith amongst others and to provide a fun week of activities, what really is your underlying dream of what happens to the children while they're here and once they leave?
I mean, truly, it is giving them the opportunity to encounter Christ and his church, because they get to experience that through each other and through camp activities. But, being in Montana and everything so spread out, like not all of them get the opportunity to go to mass every day or, those sort of opportunities. So truly the mission for the camp is to give them a space to encounter Christ. And it's a simple mission, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I guess to simplify it and to just put it as in as basic as terms as possible, I would say to let the kids know Jesus is real and he wants to be a part of your life, right? And he wants to be the center of your life, right? And so like my goal is, I think all of our goal really is to let them know that so that they can take that home with them and really just evangelize the world around them, right? That's the ultimate goal that we have here.
We are mid-season, if you will, for you now, so it might be a little late for people to sign their children up to come for this summer. But this isn't a one-time thing, right? This is something that happens every summer. And how long has it been going? And are we planning on continuing it in the future?
Well, the plan is to continue. Yeah. So I don't know how long it's been going. I don't know the whole history, but I've been at it for 8 years. And so, it's kind of interesting to see that I've seen, the kids who are in the high school weeks now are the kids who were in the 5th and 6th grade weeks when I first started, right? And it's fun to see them grow up and to see their growth in faith as well, and that they keep coming back, right? That's encouraging. But the plan is to keep going, to grow. We're breaking records in terms of numbers, these years. And so it grows every single year. And that's just really encouraging that the Lord's working in this diocese.
And usually what are the dates? When is the first session of camp and when is the last session of camp?
So usually the first session of camp is the second to last week of June. And then the last session of camp is usually the first week of August. So
if people want to know more about the camp or are interested in next year, whenever it comes time to make decisions about camp, how can they find out more about St. Thomas Camp?
It's at stthomascamp.com, all spelled out, stthomascamp.com. So all of the information is there.
I appreciate you both taking time today and welcoming us out to the camp and just having a discussion about the value of Catholic summer camp, especially here in the Diocese of Great Falls-Billings.
All right.
Thank you,
Thomas. Appreciate it.